Sarah had always believed two people would never hurt her in this life: her best friend Lisa and her husband Mark. She used to say it proudly, like a national anthem. "Lisa is my sister from another mother," she would tell people. "And Mark, he would die before he cheats. That man worships the ground I walk on." If only she knew that both of them were practicing for the Olympics of betrayal. It all began on a Saturday morning. Sarah woke up early, singing loudly as she cleaned the house. She was preparing a special breakfast for Mark: pancakes, scrambled eggs, and that hot chocolate he loved so much. As she cooked, she danced, shaking her waist like someone who had just received salary. But unknown to her, someone else had received a different kind of salary, and it was her husband, Mark. When she finally carried the food upstairs, she didn't see Mark on the bed. His phone was plugged in, but he was nowhere to be found. She thought he was in the bedroom. She knocked, but no response. She checked the balcony. Empty. Sarah frowned. Mark never left the room without his phone. That man treated his phone like it was made of pure gold. "Where did this man go?" she murmured. To keep herself calm, she switched on his phone to call him. And that was when a message popped up on the screen from Lisa, her best friend, her sister, her human diary. The message read, "Baby, I can't stop thinking about last night. Send time today." The tray fell from Sarah's hands. The pancakes scattered. The eggs rolled. The hot chocolate baptized the carpet. Sarah froze. She blinked. She cleaned her eyes. She read it again. Maybe it was heaven testing her eyesight. Then another message arrived. "Hope your wife is asleep. Don't keep me waiting." Sarah felt her heart jump like it wanted to run away. Baby? Wife? Last night? She thought maybe it was a prank. Maybe the angels were doing April Fool in November. Then another message came in. This one almost ended her blood pressure permanently. "I miss your arms, my love." Sarah screamed so loudly that the neighbors thought someone won a lottery. She grabbed the phone and ran downstairs like a woman possessed by speed. She dialed Mark immediately. He picked. "Hello, babe," she said, sounding very normal, too normal. "Where are you?" Sarah asked calmly, even though her voice was shaking like vibrating phone. "Oh, I stepped out to buy something. I'll be home soon." "Okay," she said quietly. But in her mind, she said, "Come home, come and die." She ended the call, and this something even she couldn't believe. She called Lisa. "Hey, Bessie," Lisa answered quickly. Her voice, too sweet, too innocent. Sarah forced a smile. "Lisa, please come to my house. I want to tell you something." Lisa giggled. "Oh, anything for my sister." The irony almost choked Sarah. She cleaned the living room. She arranged the scattered pancakes. She even put biscuits on the table. She didn't know why. Maybe she wanted Lisa to eat last snacks before her funeral. 10 minutes later, the doorbell rang. Sarah opened the door. Lisa stood there, wearing a bright yellow gown, smiling like someone who didn't just test another woman's husband. My love. Come in, Sarah said, with a deceptive smile. Lisa entered. Sarah watched her like a detective who already knew the culprit. They sat. How is Mark? Lisa asked casually. Happy, Sarah replied, her lips trembling. Very happy, very. Lisa smiled sweetly. Sarah looked at her closely. So, Lisa, where were you last night? Oh, I was home. Just tired. Really? Sarah asked. Then she picked up Mark's phone and dropped it on the table. Lisa's smile faded for exactly 0.5 seconds. Sarah saw it, the guilt, the shock, the fear. But Lisa quickly covered it with another fake smile. Why are you looking at me like that? Lisa asked. Sarah leaned back. Lisa, what is the meaning of this? She opened the message. Lisa's soul almost left her body. Her eyes became wide. Her mouth opened slowly like elevator doors, and her hands started shaking like generator struggling to start. Sarah, I can't explain. Explain what? Sarah thundered. Lisa stammered. It's not what you think. Oh, really? So, baby, same time today means what? You two were praying? Lisa went silent. Sarah felt tears fill her eyes. Her heart broke. Her hands shook. How could you? She whispered. My own best friend? You? I gave you everything. You ate in my house. You told me all your problems. I helped you look for a job. I borrowed you money. Lisa began crying. Sarah, please. I didn't plan it. I don't know how it happened. You don't know how? Sarah shouted. So you fell inside his arms by mistake. Sarah, please, I am sorry. But Sarah wasn't listening anymore. The front door opened. Mark walked in, holding nylon bags. He looked up and froze when he saw the two women. Baby, what is happening? He asked. Sarah didn't speak. She simply turned the phone so he could read the messages. Mark stopped breathing. Lisa stopped blinking. Sarah stopped forgiving. Mark, she said quietly, what is the meaning of this? Mark swallowed so hard his Adam's apple almost fell out. Sarah, I can explain. Oh, please, she snapped. Both of you want to explain. Wonderful. Let me sit down and eat popcorn while you two explain. Mark dropped the bags. He looked at Lisa. Lisa looked at him. Sarah looked at both of them like a judge preparing the death sentence. I am so sorry, Mark began. It was a mistake. Oh, really? A mistake that happened last night and the night before and the text you sent her on Wednesday. Mark's mouth fell open. He didn't expect Sarah to go full FBI. Lisa started crying louder. Sarah folded her arms. Mark, how long? He hesitated. 6 months. 6 what? Sarah stood up so fast the chair made noise. Lisa ducked her head. Mark tried to touch Sarah's arm. She pushed his hand away. Tell me the truth, she screamed. In my house? My best friend? The girl I called my sister. Mark dropped to his knees. I am sorry, Sarah. Sarah laughed. It was the laughter of a broken woman, a laughter that had pain, anger, and disbelief mixed together. So after everything we've been through, this is what you two have been doing behind my back? No one replied. Sarah wiped her tears and looked at both of them. You know what? You two deserve each other. Lisa cried harder. Mark begged, but Sarah had already made up her mind. She walked to the bedroom, packed her clothes, packed her laptop, and packed her dignity. When she came out, Mark tried to stop her. Sarah, please, don't leave. She looked him straight in the eyes. You see this version of me, the one that cries. This is the last day you will ever see her. Lisa sobbed. Sarah, please forgive me. Sarah faced Lisa. Forgive you? For what? For climbing my husband like a staircase? For stabbing me in the back? For lying to my face? Lisa shook her head weakly. Please. Sarah stepped closer. You were supposed to be my best friend, but you were a snake waiting for opportunity. Now you have eaten the forbidden fruit. Enjoy it. I hope it chokes you. And she walked out. Immediately, Sarah left the house. She breathed deeply. Fresh air, new peace. She didn't know where she was going, but she knew she couldn't stay there. So she took a taxi to her elder sister, Helen's house. When Helen opened the door and saw her tears, she hugged her tightly. Sarah couldn't hold it anymore. She cried into her sister's arms. Helen listened, quietly, patiently. When Sarah finished talking, Helen shook her head. That man didn't deserve you, and that girl was never your friend. Sarah wiped her face. But why? Why both of them? Helen smiled sadly. Because jealousy doesn't always come from enemies. Sometimes it comes from those closest to you. They see your blessing, your joy, your marriage, and instead of being happy, they want it. Sarah nodded slowly. Helen cooked for her, made her tea, gave her a room. The next day, Sarah woke up feeling different, lighter and stronger. She looked in the mirror and told herself, I will not cry again. My story is not ending here. And she meant it. 3 months later, Sarah had a new job, a better one. She looked happier, healthier, and finer. People kept dropping comments on her social media. Girl, you are glowing. What is the secret? You look so beautiful these days. Meanwhile, Mark and Lisa, their life had turned into a full-time Nollywood movie. They fought every day. Mark lost weight. Lisa lost peace. She couldn't trust Mark because if he cheated with her, he could cheat on her. Mark couldn't trust Lisa because guilt kept reminding him of what they did to Sarah. One day, Mark tried calling Sarah. She didn't pick. He texted, I am sorry. Please, I miss you. She didn't reply. He texted again. Can we talk? Sarah blocked him. Not because she was angry, but because she was done, truly done. 6 months later, doing a business seminar, Sarah met a man named Daniel, tall, gentle, soft-spoken, and respectful. He introduced himself with a smile. I have heard your presentation. You are brilliant. Sarah blushed. They talked for hours, and for the first time in a long time, Sarah laughed, a real one, not the broken laughter she used to when she found the messages, but a new laughter, a healed laughter. Daniel became a friend, then a best friend, then something more. And funny enough, Daniel never checked his phone when they were together. He never hid anything. He never lied. The day he asked Sarah to be his girlfriend, he said, "I don't know what happened in your past, but I promise you this, I will never betray your trust." Sarah believed him. Slowly, her heart healed. 1 year later, Sarah got married again. A small wedding, simple, beautiful. Her sister Helen stood beside her. Her new friends surrounded her, and when she walked down the aisle, her smile was brighter than sunlight. People kept telling Sarah, "You are lucky." She always replied, "No, I am blessed. Losing the wrong people helped me find the right one." And whenever she told the story online, her viewers always commented, "Sarah, please tell us part 2. Oh my God, this story is real. You deserve all the happiness." Sarah would smile and retell her famous line, "On the day my best friend stole my husband, I thought my world ended, but that day was actually the beginning of my new life."